When life breaks you, it doesn't whisper. It roars. It drags you down. It crushes your chest until you can barely breathe. You wake up with a weight so heavy it feels like the universe has chosen you to suffer, and every part of you wants to quit. But listen, those moments when you feel shattered, when your soul feels like it's bleeding, that's the forge where strength is built. Brokenness isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new version of you. The pain you feel is proof that you're alive, proof that you still got fight inside you. Life doesn't break you because it hates you. It breaks you because it's showing you what you're made of. Diamonds are made under pressure, steel is forged in fire, and greatness is born through struggle. If you quit when life breaks you, then you were never serious about winning. But if you rise, if you decide that no amount of pain will stop you, then life itself bows down to you. Scars don't define weakness. They're the signatures of warriors who refuse to stay broken. Remember, pain is temporary, strength is permanent. Rise from the ashes. Break limits. Refuse to stay shattered. Conquer everything. Brokenness is the birthplace of strength. You see, most people pray for an easy life, a soft road with no challenges, no storms, and no setbacks. But what they don't understand is that greatness is never born out of comfort. Greatness is born out of fire, out of pain, out of the crushing weight of moments that make you feel like you'll never stand again. Brokenness is not your enemy. It is the test that shapes your spirit into something unshakable. Every scar, every wound, every time you are left on your knees crying out in silence, that is where strength was secretly being born. The truth is, life will break you. It will shatter your dreams, betray your trust, steal your hope, and beat you down until you don't even recognize yourself in the mirror. But in that destruction, in that raw, unbearable agony, life plants the seed of resilience. And when you choose not to surrender, when you decide that the fire will not consume you but refine you, that's when you become more than what you were before. Think about it. Steel isn't created in comfort. It is forged in the hottest fire, bent, hammered, and reshaped until it can endure anything. A diamond doesn't form in gentle sunlight. It is created deep underground, under crushing pressure, where no one can see the process, only the result. You are no different. Life will bury you under pain, under disappointment, under betrayal. And while you're there in the dark, screaming inside, strength is forming silently. The pain you carry isn't there to destroy you. It's there to sculpt you into something unbreakable. The people you admire, the ones you call strong, unstoppable, fearless, they are not that way because life was kind to them. They are that way because life broke them into pieces, and they chose to rise stronger than before. Brokenness teaches you things comfort never can. When you are broken, you learn who you are without the masks, without the illusions. You discover your true self when everything you thought defined you is stripped away. The job, the relationship, the friends, the status. When they all collapse, you stand there bare and vulnerable. And that moment is terrifying, but it is also liberating. Because now you have the chance to build yourself on unshakable foundation. You get to rise from nothing, and when you rise from nothing, nothing can ever defeat you again. Brokenness is the mirror that shows you the parts of yourself you never knew existed. The warrior, the survivor, the relentless fighter who refuses to stay on the ground. Strength born from brokenness is different from the strength people pretend to have. Fake strength smiles in public but crumbles in private. True strength, the kind born in pain, carries scars with pride because those scars are proof of survival. True strength doesn't hide behind words. It radiates from a person who has faced darkness and still chose light. When you've been broken and rebuilt yourself, you walk differently, you speak differently, you live differently, you show differently from a place of promise, but reality, you live differently and you live differently. People can feel it. They can sense that you've been through hell and came back with fire in your eyes. That strength commands respect without asking for it, because it cannot be faked, it cannot be bought, and it cannot be inherited. It must be earned through pain. The world is full of people who look strong but are fragile inside because they've never faced real brokenness. They've lived safe, comfortable lives, protected from the storms that create warriors, but when life inevitably hits them, they collapse. That's why you must never curse your pain, never resent your trials. They are giving you something priceless, real strength. The kind that nothing and no one can take away. When life breaks you, don't waste time asking, why me? Instead, declare, try me. Let the world know that no matter how many times you're shattered, you will rise again, sharper, harder, and more dangerous than before. Strength is not about never falling, it's about refusing to stay down. Every broken piece of you can either be a wound that festers or a weapon that protects you. You get to choose. You get to decide whether your suffering will define you as weak or transform you into unstoppable. Remember, brokenness is not permanent. It is a stage, a process, a transition. Just like muscles tear before they grow, just like storms rage before the skies clear. Your breaking is only temporary, but the strength that comes after, that is eternal. So when life breaks you, don't hide your scars. Don't bury your pain. Don't numb yourself with distractions. Feel it, embrace it. Let it carve you into someone the world cannot ignore. Your brokenness is your foundation, your battlefield, your birthplace of power. And one day you'll look back and realize that the very moments that tried to destroy you were the ones that made you indestructible. Brokenness is not the end of your story. It's the chapter where the hero is born. Pain is proof of life, not weakness. The very fact that you can feel pain is evidence that you are alive, that your spirit has not given up, that you still have something inside you worth fighting for. Too many people mistake pain as a sign that they are failing, that they are broken beyond repair, that they are not strong enough to handle what life is throwing at them. But the truth is the complete opposite. Pain is the body's reminder that you are here, you are present, and you are capable of enduring. Dead things don't feel. Weak things don't survive storms. Only the living, only the fighters, only the resilient feel pain and keep moving forward. Every ache, every heartbreak, every wound you carry is not a declaration of your weakness. It is evidence of your strength to endure something that could have destroyed you, but didn't. So no. When you feel pain, it means your story isn't finished. Pain is the signal that growth is happening. Just like muscles tear before they grow stronger, your soul tears when life tests it, and through that tearing comes expansion, resilience, and depth. The people who appear the strongest are not the ones who never experience pain. They are the ones who have been crushed by it, torn apart by it, yet refuse to let it dictate the rest of their life. They took pain as their teacher, their trainer, their compass. Pain showed them where they were fragile. And instead of hiding, they rebuilt themselves into something solid. That's why pain should never be seen as weakness. Weakness is turning away from pain. Weakness is pretending it doesn't exist, numbing it with distractions, hiding from it until it consumes you silently. Strength is standing in the middle of pain and declaring, "This will not break me. This will transform me." Think about every great achievement, every powerful transformation in history. It was born out of pain. Soldiers on battlefields, entrepreneurs rising from bankruptcy, leaders who lost everything before changing the world, athletes who trained until their bodies screamed. All of them carried pain like a badge of honor. Pain forced them to dig deeper than comfort ever could. It forced them to reach levels of strength they didn't even know existed. Comfort never changes a person. Ease never creates greatness. Pain is the catalyst, the fire that forges something stronger, something undeniable, something unshakable. The problem today is that too many people run from pain. They see struggle as a curse instead of a blessing. They think the presence of pain means they're doing something wrong, when in reality, it often means they're exactly where they need to be. You don't grow when everything is easy. You don't find yourself when life is smooth. You discover who you truly are in the moments when everything hurts, when your body wants to give up, when your heart feels shattered, and yet you keep going. Pain strips away illusions. It shows you your limits, and then it dares you to push past them. Without pain, there is no strength, no resilience, no transformation. Even nature proves this truth. The seed buried underground must break before it can grow. The chick inside the egg must fight and struggle to break free before it can live. The caterpillar must endure the isolation and tearing of its cocoon before it can transform into a butterfly. In every example, pain is the process that leads to life, not death. Struggle is the path that leads to freedom, not weakness. So why would it be different for you? Your pain is not proof that you're cursed. It's proof that you're being forged into something greater than what you are right now. The strongest people you know have cried in silence. They've screamed into pillows. They've endured sleepless nights where their chest felt like it was on fire from grief, betrayal, or loss. But they didn't stay there. They didn't let pain paralyze them. They turned it into power, into purpose, into unshakable will. That's what makes them powerful. Not the absence of pain, but the decision to use it as fuel. And you have that same choice. You can see your pain as weakness and let it drain you, or you can see it as proof that you're alive, proof that you still have fight left inside, and proof that you're capable of overcoming anything that stands against you. You may not realize it now, but the pain you feel today is building you into someone who will be unrecognizable tomorrow. The heartbreaks you've survived, the disappointments that tore you apart, the failures that left you doubting yourself, they are shaping you. One day, you'll look back and realize those moments of agony were actually the stepping stones toward your greatest strength. You'll thank your pain, because without it, you wouldn't have become who you are meant to be. So don't run from pain. Don't see it as weakness. Embrace it as proof of life, proof of growth, proof of strength in the making. Let every painful moment remind you that you are alive. And as long as you are alive, you can fight, you can rise, you can conquer. Pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally in becoming unstoppable. Scars are evidence of resilience, not defeat. Too often people hide their scars, physical, emotional, or mental, as if they are stains of shame, as if they are reminders of weakness or failure. They cover them up. They silence their stories. They pretend they were never wounded. But scars are not ugly. Scars are beautiful. Scars are living proof that you went to war with life. You faced storms that could have ended you, and you walked out the other side still standing. A scar does not mean you lost. It means you survived. It means that even though you were cut, broken, or shattered, you refused to stay down. Scars are the signatures of resilience, the permanent reminders that pain came for you, but failed to claim you. Every scar tells a story, and those stories matter. The scar on your skin, the one that came from an accident or a fight, is proof you healed. The scar on your heart from betrayal is proof that even after being torn apart, you still dare to love again. The scar in your mind from past trauma is proof that even though darkness tried to consume you, you found a way to keep moving forward. These are not signs of defeat. They are medals of honor that life has branded into your being. They say, I have suffered, but I am still here. I was tested, but I did not break. I was wounded, but I healed. Scars transform pain into power. When you look at your scars, you are not just remembering the pain. You are remembering the strength it took to endure, the courage it took to rise, and the resilience it took to keep living when everything inside you wanted to quit. Scars remind you of battles fought and battles won. They remind you that you are capable of withstanding storms that seemed impossible. Without scars, you would forget the depth of your own strength. They are not marks of defeat. They are reminders that you are a warrior. Think about the strongest people you know. They all carry scars, whether visible or hidden. The hero who inspires millions carries the scars of rejection, loss, and failure. The athlete who dominates the world carries scars from injuries, setbacks, and years of pain. The parent who gives everything for their child carries scars from sleepless nights, sacrifices, and battles no one else sees. And you carry scars too. Maybe they are invisible to others, but they exist, carved deep into your soul. And those scars, as painful as they were to earn, are what make you unshakable today. A person without scars is a person who has never fought, never risked, never lived fully. To live is to be wounded. To grow is to be broken and then rebuilt stronger. To fight for anything meaningful is to accept that pain will come, and when it does, it will leave scars behind. But those scars are not curses. They are proof of the price you paid to become who you are today. Every scar is an investment, a piece of pain transformed into resilience, a badge that says you have endured what many could not. We live in a world that glorifies perfection, that hides flaws, that filters reality. People chase the illusion of being untouched, unbroken, flawless. But the truth is, perfection is fragile. The flawless crack at the first sign of pressure. The ones who wear their scars with pride, who embrace them instead of hiding them, are the ones who can never truly be broken again. Because once you've been wounded and healed, you realize you are stronger than you ever knew. Once you've survived pain, future pain no longer scares you. It only fuels you. Scars connect us as human beings. When someone shows you their scars, they are showing you their story, their survival, their truth. And in that moment, you realize you are not alone. You realize that pain is universal, but so is resilience. We all carry scars, though some are just hidden deeper than others. And when we stop hiding them, when we see them not as defeat, but as resilience, we inspire others to embrace their own strength. Scars are not the end of the story. They are the beginning of a new chapter. The wound was the breaking point. The pain was the battle. But the scar is the victory. It means you endured long enough to heal. It means that chapter closed and a new one began. It means you are alive, stronger, tougher, and wiser. So never hide your scars. Wear them as reminders that you are more than a survivor. You are a fighter. When you stand in front of the mirror and see your scars, don't see them as reminders of what hurt you. See them as reminders of what could not defeat you. Scars are not ugly. They are the most honest form of beauty, the kind that only comes through fire, struggle, and survival. They are permanent evidence that you lived, that you fought, and that you refuse to surrender. Scars are not marks of weakness. They are marks of strength, resilience, and victory. Rising after being broken makes you unstoppable. There is a certain power that is born only in the ruins, only after you've been shattered into pieces and left with nothing but your will to fight. When life breaks you, it feels like the end. The weight of betrayal, loss, failure, and pain presses so heavy that even breathing feels like a battle. But when you choose to rise from that place, when you claw your way out of the ashes with blood still on your hands and scars still fresh on your body, you become something far greater than you ever were before. Rising after being broken is not just recovery, it is transformation. It is the rebirth of someone who no longer fears the storm because they have already survived it. You see, the person who has never been broken may look strong, but their strength has never been tested. The person who has never tasted failure may seem confident, but their confidence is fragile, built on unshaken ground. True power belongs to the one who has been crushed, destroyed, humiliated, and left for dead, yet rose anyway. When you rise after being broken, you carry with you a fire that cannot be extinguished because you know what it's like to be at the bottom. You know what it feels like to have nothing but your willpower. And once you've stood up from that kind of darkness, nothing and no one can ever truly scare you again. Brokenness changes you, but rising from it defines you. It changes how you see yourself, how you see life, and how you see pain. You begin to realize that nothing is permanent, not suffering, not failure, not heartbreak. You learn that even the deepest wounds eventually heal, and even when the healing leaves scars, those scars are proof of your survival. Rising after being broken gives you unshakable confidence because you no longer live in fear of being hurt. You know you can endure it. You no longer run from failure. You know you can rebuild. You no longer fear being left alone. You know you can stand on your own. This kind of resilience makes you unstoppable because the worst has already happened and you are still here. The world cannot break a person who has already been broken and rebuilt themselves. Every challenge after that feels smaller, every setback feels temporary, every failure feels like just another lesson. When others panic, you remain calm because you've walked through worse. When others give up, you keep pushing because you've risen before. Rising after being broken gives you a mindset that no comfort, no privilege, no easy road can ever provide. It gives you the advantage of perspective, the knowledge that pain is not the end, but the fuel for a stronger beginning. Think about the legends, the leaders, the people you admire. None of them had smooth journeys. They were all broken at some point, by defeat, by rejection, by loss. But they rose, and because they rose, they became unstoppable. The entrepreneur who lost everything and rebuilt an empire. The athlete who was told their career was over and came back to dominate. The individual who faced betrayal, heartbreak, and despair, yet turned their pain into purpose and inspired millions. These are not stories of lucky people. These are stories of broken people who refuse to stay down. And that is where your power lies, not in never falling, but in always rising. Life will break you, that is guaranteed. You will face moments where everything you counted on collapses. You will lose people, opportunities, and dreams, but that is not the end. It is the moment that defines whether you stay shattered or become unstoppable. If you choose to rise, if you choose to fight when everything inside you screams to quit, then you will step into a version of yourself that nothing can conquer. Is that the beauty of rising after being broken is that you begin to live without fear. You understand that failure isn't fatal, heartbreak isn't permanent, and pain isn't forever. You stop playing life safe because you know safety doesn't protect you from being broken. Pain will find you anyway. Instead, you embrace the risk, the challenge, the fight, because you've proven to yourself that no matter what happens, you can rise. This makes you dangerous to the world, dangerous to doubt, dangerous to fear, dangerous to limitation. Because you are no longer chained by what could go wrong, you are fueled by what you already survived. So don't resent your brokenness, don't curse the moments that tore you apart. Instead, recognize them as the foundation of your unstoppable self. Every time you rise after being broken, you level up, you evolve, you become a version of yourself that no one can defeat. Life may break you again, but it will never destroy you because you know the truth. Brokenness is temporary, but rising is forever. And once you rise, you cannot be stopped because the world has nothing left to take from you. And so when you stand at the edge of your breaking point, when the weight of the world feels unbearable and every part of you wants to give in, remember this: life did not come to destroy you, it came to awaken you. The pain you feel is not weakness, it is proof that you are alive. The scars you carry are not shame, they are evidence of your resilience. The moments that shattered you were not the end, they were the beginning of a new version of you. Rising after being broken is the ultimate act of defiance against everything that tried to bury you. It is the declaration that you cannot be defeated, only transformed. The fire that was meant to consume you has now forged you into steel. The storm that was sent to drown you has taught you how to rise above the waves. You are no longer fragile. You are no longer breakable. You are unshakable, unstoppable, undeniable. So the next time life breaks you, smile, because you already know the truth. Every time you rise, you become stronger, harder, and more fearless. And a soul that refuses to stay broken is a soul the world cannot conquer.